that a lot of people with a hearing loss have. And in my book, Carly herself wears two. So I wanted to talk a little bit about them. The first thing, a lot of people assume hearing aids are the same as glasses. So when I take mine off, it's hard to see, things are blurry, what do? Put them on and oh, perfect, 20/20 vision. I can see clearly and perfectly now. The same is true about hearing aids, right? Wrong. A lot of people assume that hearing aids and glasses are the same thing, and in reality, they're very different. Hearing aids make things louder. That's it. They don't fix hearing loss. They simply cause things to become louder. And because of hearing loss is usually not a straight line, that means the sounds, while now technology means that we're bringing different levels up to different abilities, it still means that it's not perfect. It's a very mechanical sound, and it can be better, but the worse your hearing loss is, it's still harder to hear. For example, this ear. I've already said that this ear is, basically deaf, and that means my voice recognition is not very good. If someone talks directly to this ear, I still really can't hear, and I tend to listen with my left because this one works better. So you might notice that you can see my ears and they're empty. What's happening? Am I lying? No, I'm not. I just don't have my hearing aids on yet because I wanted to show you. So I'm going to start with my right ear because it's what's called a BTE, behind the ear. It's the same kind that Carly herself wears in both her ears. And she, like a lot of people, would use skin color because she's not comfortable and she doesn't want people to see her ears. Me, I'm different. So I have some fun colors. That's my right hearing aid. And something I want to show you is where the sound comes from. There are microphones and they're not in the center of the ear. So my microphones are here and here. And what that means when I put them on is the sound is really coming from behind me, which really, if you can imagine a restaurant or a loud area, that makes it harder to hear because we tend to be listening to what's in front of us. Now, hearing aids run on batteries. And there's my battery door. And my battery is that. I put it in and I close it. You might hear a ringing sound. That's what's called feedback, and it's really a hearing aid's way of letting someone know that the sound is looping through again and again. So there's my ear. You can see it. Now my other ear, I have what's called an ITE. It's a smaller in-the-ear hearing aid. And the reason I did that is because of what I was explaining about where the sound itself comes from. I use this ear to talk on the phone. And if, or really when I was growing up, I had behind the ears, which means to use a phone normally, that's not where my microphone is. I have to adjust it to here, and it's awkward and it's not easy, and hearing aids, not hearing aids, the phones themselves don't accommodate that. So I opted for something that was going to give me the sound in a more natural way. So that's my ITE. It's not the smallest, it's not the biggest. I had options with this one, and something I forgot to say on my right ear, this hearing aid is called a power hearing aid. It is the strongest option I had available to me, and there was never a question. It was, that's the hearing aid you need. That's because of how, low my hearing is, and it's just what I needed, and I found it funny. Okay, so this one, not the smallest, not the biggest. I just chose what was comfortable for me. And because it's smaller, that also means the battery is smaller. And you can imagine if somebody has arthritis or difficulty using their hands, that means that the batteries are really hard. So pop this in, and because of new, more digital technology, that means I have to kind of wait for, oh, there it goes, the power to come in. So I put it in and my ear feels blocked for a little bit, and I kind of have to suffer and wait and see what happens. I actually tend to put this hearing aid on first, because this new technology, my hearing aids actually communicate with each other, which is really odd because my ears don't really. So my hearing aids are deciding that a sound needs to go to my right ear, where I would prefer it to go to my left because this one can hear. It's just one of those things. Now, different people use different kinds of hearing aids. It depends on their hearing loss. It depends on their comfortability. You'll notice I didn't have any fun colors for this one because it tends to be the people that want to hide their hearing loss. And I feel that's sad, especially because I can notice those really small hearing aids with the thin tubing on it, because I know as a hearing aid user, I notice these things. And it's funny because I see people that are obviously not comfortable because they want something so small, and I'm the opposite. I'm happy with my ears. It's just who I am. So that's, a little tiny bit on hearing aids. And as I said, Carly herself, she has two behind the ear skin color. Reed, he's deaf, and while some deaf people do have hearing aids, he doesn't need them. All right, bye-bye.